Hello YouTube, this is Asatsu5 and I got a knife review for you today. This knife was designed by a friend of both me and my brothers. He's a French custom knife maker, and I know you've seen some of his stuff before on my channel because I've reviewed some of this stuff. If you're new, you might not have seen my Orban Raptor or G6 or Moon Kiss, but I have featured him on my channel several times, and this is actually my brother's knife, and I felt like carrying it and reviewing it, and so this is it. This is the review. Cool, huh? This is one of his production knives, and I'll take it out of the sheath here in a second. It's a production knife made in Italy, everyday carry. The name of the knife is the Bastinelli BB Drago, or Drago. I don't know how you pronounce it in French, but I don't speak French that well. But it's a very, very handy knife. And think of it like this. If you like the Minimalist, you're going to love this knife. This is very, very similar to the Minimalist. It's more expensive than the Minimalist, and I'm not faulting for you buying the Minimalist because it's really affordable and stuff, but this knife has a lot of the same features as its grip. It's molded to your finger grips. You get a 2-finger grip, you got a lanyard you can put the third finger on. Has jimping. I don't really think it needs jimping, but hey, he wanted to put jimping on it, so that was his design. There's his trademark, and you can tell that it's a production knife because it doesn't have his maker's mark on it. It's micarta handles, and the Blade HQ website says it's made out of D2, but I remember, this is my brother's knife, I remember my brother saying that he didn't think it was D2, that he was under the impression that it was made out of, what's that steel called? I can't believe I forgot it. N690. N690 steel. It's very similar to VG10. It's like the European version of it. This is a Warncliffe flat grind satin finish. Handle length is 2.50 inches. It weighs 1.40 ounces. Kydex sheath, and has a Warncliffe. Blade length is 1.75. Overall length is 4.25. And this is one of my favorite neck knives. I'm not really big into neck knives because, well, to me they're very easy to get to, but one-handedly. But after you use it, you kind of have a little bit of issue getting it back in the sheath because it's not difficult. It's just not as easy as a folding knife. You have to use 2 hands. Also, usually when I wear a neck knife, and this is not always, because when I'm at the school during the summer, I usually wear a neck knife, and I wear it above my clothing or outside my clothing. But when I'm just walking around town, or if the school is really busy, I generally wear a neck knife under my clothing, concealed. Because I don't want to draw too much attention to myself. I'm not opposed to not concealing it, but walking in a public school can be a very sensitive work environment to this kind of stuff. Almost everybody knows I carry a knife. The superintendent knows, my boss knows, my co-workers know. In fact, they elected me to carve the turkey on Thanksgiving because I'm such a knife fanatic. But I always don't feel comfortable wearing this outside the clothing because I just feel it will draw too much attention. Not that it will be bad attention, but you never know who's going to freak out about it. And to me, this particular neck knife, I'm not saying this is true with all neck knives, I don't think it's that attractive hanging around your neck. Maybe if it looked more like jewelry or something, maybe if it had diamonds or something. If it was a little more aesthetically pleasing to the eye, I might wear it outside the clothing. But just hanging like this, to me it just doesn't look right outside the clothing. This Wharncliffe, you can kind of say is a modified Wharncliffe that does have some belly, as you can see. And I love Wharncliffes for EDC tasks. Wharncliffes are the perfect EDC blade shape. I don't think there was a better blade shape more suited for EDC task. Just mostly because with EDC task, the stuff you're doing like opening up boxes, breaking down boxes, opening up mail, opening up packages, opening up clamshell packages, all that stuff, you're basically opening stuff. The Wharncliffe, when you stick it onto something, it puts a lot of pressure at the tip, and it shoots its way through. I don't know the best word to describe it. It just cuts metal. You have more tip control. I've showed you with the Bowie knives that the hawk bill or the clip actually cuts a lot easier than the upswept primary cutting edge. It's because it kind of has a clawing mechanism. It digs in deeper. And this does the same thing. I don't think you can see that. There you go. If there was if it had a lot of belly and you're trying to open up the package, you'd have to hold it almost like this to open up the package. For this, you just have to tilt it just a little bit. Just think of it this way. There's a lot of people who hate on Wharncliffes, but if you look at box cutters, the knife that most of the industrial people use for opening packages and boxes and breaking them down, they're all Wharncliffes, because Wharncliffes will cut through paper and cardboard even when dull. They might rip through it. It might not be a pretty cut, but they will get the job done even if they're not super sharp. This is probably not very good for food prep or skinning animals or anything like that. I'm not going to make any outrageous claims about that, but for EDC task in an urban environment, the Wharncliffe is king, and I don't see a better blade shape for EDC task, and that's part of the reason why I like this better than the Minimalist. And the Minimalist isn't a bad EDC knife. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I prefer this one better. As you can see, it has some Torx fastening it together. Let's talk about price. This is going to be the big downfall of this knife. Not because it's not worth it, but if you can get the Minimalist for the price that they're selling it, you're going to appreciate the Minimalist for its price. This cost $125 from Blade HQ. They're out of stock right now. I don't know when or if they're getting any more of them, but you can find them at other places. $125 as opposed to the Minimalist. I can't remember how much it cost. It's sub $40. So there's a lot to consider. This has a battle steel in it. If it's D2, then D2 is really cool. If it's N690, N690 is awesome. I've had good experience with it, better experience with it, I think, than some D2s that I've tried. Just my personal preference. But it's a really cool knife. It just, when you put it onto a package or anything you're opening and draw it, it just opens it very easily. And I've used the Emerson Super Commander as my EDC knife when I worked in retail, and I hated opening up boxes with it because that rounded, kind of bellied tip didn't lend itself well for opening up boxes and cutting tape. It's good for cutting rope, but it's not really good for paper or cardboard or tape. So I'm really happy with this knife, and I'm going to give it back to my brother because it is his knife and not mine, but I appreciate him letting me use it. And shout out to my bro Bastinelli. He lives in France, and you know, it's Kind of a scary time right now. You don't know quite what's going on. You just know that stuff is happening, and I'm praying for them, praying for all of my French people. So that's it. I hope you have a great day. I'm a Satsu 5, and I'm out.